America, we call it deplatforming, right? Cancel culture. You're being deplatformed. But at least you still can speak out. You still can knock on doors. You still can call your neighbor. You still can talk on social media. I mean, Telegram, Signal. There's so many ways for Americans to still speak out. Just imagine this, okay? If I was to just talk to one stranger every day, or a friend, or a relative every day for a year, there'll be 365 people I've managed to convince that what's going on now is there's something deeply wrong that's going on, and we need to talk about it. And if each of those people talk to other people, there'll be very soon there'll be millions of Americans. And in fact, I believe millions of Americans today, at least half the country, doesn't buy what the establishment media is saying. They will speak out, and they will soon find that actually even people on the left and people on the right will find that they are not actually each other's enemies, but the one who's trying to take advantage of this division in the country is actually those people in the establishment in Washington. So in China, you can't even speak. If you speak, they will do three things to you. I mean, this is the extreme version of deplatforming. They will defame you, they will disenfranchise you, and then they will destroy you if they cannot sway you over to their persuasion. So we've seen this with this doctor from Wuhan, Dr. Li Wenliang. He was just trying to talk about, hey, there's this a SARS-like virus going on in China back in December 2019. And then he was being arrested. He was disappeared. They said, you're lying. But for people of faith, House Christians, Uyghurs, Falun Gong, Buddhists, the Chinese Communist Party, they'll start spreading lies, right? So they will say, okay, the Muslim men in Xinjiang, they are extremists. Falun Gong, they are cultists. And then after they defame you, then they would proceed to disenfranchise you, which means if you want to get promotion in school or at the workplace, you need to sit for a promotional exam. And then you're being made to answer questions saying confirming the political orthodoxy of the time. So it's you need to condemn Falun Gong. If you don't condemn Falun Gong, then you won't get promotion. So then when you're kicked out of school or kicked out of work, they may throw you into a re-education camp where they will persecute you. They will force you to sign false confessions, to renounce your faith. If you still don't renounce your faith, for the Uyghurs, it's even worse. They're trying to destroy their culture, make them forget Islam, forget what it means to be Uyghur, learn Chinese. And if they still refuse to be so-called transformed, as Winston in 1984 was transformed, then the last step is destruction. They either destroy you mentally and physically or both. They will basically try to reprogram you, some kind of mental lobotomization. I can give one example.
Sure.
There's this famous human rights lawyer in China, Gao Zhishen. He's a Christian. As early as 2001, the Chinese Communist Party's Ministry of Justice described him as one of the top 10 lawyers in China. But later on, he ran afoul of the authorities because he defended Christians, he defended Falun Gong, he defended people with poor laborers, who were being taken advantage of by the government. And then they just disappeared him one day around the mid-2000s. When he finally re-emerged in 2015 or 2016, I think he gave an interview with this overseas Chinese newspapers. And you could tell the guy, he was clearly suffering from cognitive decline. He was having speech problems. He said he was losing his teeth. He was not the man he once was. He's disappeared again. No one knows where he is. The authorities just banished him one day. We don't know whether he's dead. We don't know whether he's alive. So this is one example. In the worst case scenario, you're being persecuted to death, literally. For example, I'm pretty sure you've heard of this forced organ harvesting.
Yes.
Someone wants an organ, within 2 weeks, they will just kill someone and harvest their organs, give it to them. So this is pretty barbarous. Like I say, for Americans, right, if you compare the experience in China and the experience in America, I'll put it this way, things are bleak, but it's not that bleak. And if Americans keep speaking out, keep remembering the Constitution, uphold American values, this ongoing communist normalization that we are seeing now, it may never come to pass.
Well, that's why you do what you do.
Yes.
It's important. So anyway, Larry Ong is a senior analyst at Sino Insider. You see his articles at The Diplomat and Real Clear Defense. And Sino Insider is an intelligence group that's a subscribed group, correct?
Yeah, we do our China political risk consultancy. We specialize in analyzing Chinese politics, U.S.-China relations. But because we understand what the Chinese Communist Party is doing every day, not just to the Chinese people, but to the world. We know that the virus came out from Wuhan. We don't know what the Chinese Communist Party is doing, researching, bioweapons and all that stuff. After seeing things that's going on now in America, that really parallels a lot of things that are already in place in China, because I feel I have to speak out about this.
All right, Larry Ong, I appreciate it. We'll have you back. We are